This video is sponsored by Designs for Vision. Hello everyone and welcome back to another One Mission DMD video, your complete roadmap for before, during, and after dental school. My name is Teham Saud and I am a 4th year dental student at the Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health. Timestamps for the video are going to be right over here for your convenience. So what's the big deal with these new ergonomic loupes that have entered the marketplace? There's one reason and one reason only for why they've been adopted into the field of dentistry, and that's for the physical health of the practitioner themselves. Now, because traditional dental loupes have their telescopes placed at the bottom of the frame, so there's two things that the practitioner has to do to be able to look through them. They have to roll their eyes down to where those telescopes are on the frames themselves, and they have to place their neck down to be able to see where they're working. So this creates a lot of eye strain and a lot of neck pain. Now, these new Infinity VUE loupes from Designs for Vision solve all of those problems. This is done by creating that declination angle through the telescopes themselves so the practitioner looks straight and sees the field of vision that they're working with without bending their neck down or rolling their eyes down. Now, this is a huge decision for someone to make to invest in a pair of loupes like this for their career. So I reached out to some dental faculty at my school that own these pairs of loupes, and all of them suggested to get it now so that you can get used to them in your time as a dental student as opposed to in practice as a dentist. So if you're to order one of these loupes, what comes in the box? That's all dependent on the magnification you go with and the light that you pair with the loupes themselves. Now, because I opted for the wireless option, I got 3 rechargeable batteries. They look like traditional AAA batteries, but the amount of power that's recharged into them is a lot more than a typical AAA battery. Along with that, it comes with the charging unit itself, which holds 2 batteries at a time, which can charge through the module itself, the charging cable, and the power brick. You'll also find the drawstring, which connects onto the arms of your loupes, which allows for the loupes to be securely fit around your head when you're using them, or also to be resting on your neck when you're not using them. Along with that, you will also be getting some Allen keys to make some adjustments onto the loupes and the light module, an additional light mount to put on your actual pair of loupes, as well as some extra name tags and nameplates to put on your carrying cases. Now, the fitting process was something that really stood out to me with Designs for Vision. They have reps nationwide that come to you and take your measurements properly so that when you have your loop shipped out to you, very minimal adjustments are needed if necessary. Now, the working distance for a traditional pair of loupes, as I stated, is measured from the point where the practitioner can see their hands in front of them with their neck bent down and their eyes also rolled down. Because these ergonomically positioned loupes require the practitioner to be looking straight forward, the working distance is actually more than a traditional style loop. Now, once that working distance is properly determined, after that, Designs for Vision has a really precise way of positioning the loupes in the lens themselves, custom for you. Now, this is something that really stood out to me. Pretty much everyone takes measurements of your working distance, no matter who you're working with. So when you meet with your rep and they're taking your measurements, in conjunction with that working distance, they have an optical device which they place on top of you, and they individually measure your eyes separately, not together. And this allows for really a clearly positioned loupe specific to your own measurements. So the way it works is that they have this line which you're looking through one eye only, the other side is shut. So they're bringing this line, it's a red line that comes straight here, and they want you to let them know the moment it's dead in the center and clear. So before it comes to you, it's blurry, and the moment it comes in the middle, it becomes really clear. So then they lock that in when you tell them it's clear. Then they shut the other one and then open the other side, and they do the same exact thing. This ensures for proper clarity individually for each eye so that your vision is clearly centered to your pupil. This is something that really allowed for proper measurements to be replicated in the loupes that they made for me. Now, I did need to have a little bit of adjustment on my nose pad. That's it. And I was able to meet with Ryan. He's super nice. He was able to show me what I can do myself for if there needs to be additional adjustments in the future. And the reason I needed an adjustment was because on the left telescope, I was only able to see about half of the circle. There's definitely going to be some asymmetry when it comes to your nose and your eyes and the positions of things. So you have to be able to position them and adjust them properly so that it's fit for you. So even though my measurements were taken properly, asymmetry is also necessary to take into account, and adjusting the nose pieces can really allow for a proper angulation so that when you're looking through the loupes, you're seeing clear, circular visual fields that aren't blurry and that aren't off. So you don't want one high and one low, and the nose piece adjustments really allow for that proper modification due to asymmetry. Now, because these Infinity VUE loupes have that declination angle within the telescope, there is a little bit of decrease in magnification. So if you were to compare a 4.0 with the Infinity VUE loupes versus another 4.0 from Designs for Vision that is a standard loupe, there will be a little bit of less magnification on the declination angle ones, or the Infinity VUE one. Designs for Vision knows this, and that's why they make a 4.5 option for the Infinity VUE loupes. Now, if you're going to be going to specialty programs such as endodontics, then definitely you need to look into some loupes that are going to be pushing further than a 5 possibly. And you know, actually, I spoke with my endodontic faculty at my school. They said that these loupes are very similar to what a scope is. The scope is what they use in endodontics, where, you know, they bring the whole gizmo over the patient and they're able to see the canals a lot clearly. It allows for better magnification and clarity for being able to do these really fine-tuned procedures in a very limited amount of space. Now, as I mentioned, I opted for the wireless light module. With this light module, you will be receiving 3 batteries, one of which is in the light itself, and 2 are housed into the charging unit. Now, these lights typically have around 3 to 4 hours of use in them. And because you're not having your light on the entire time when you're working with the patient, it does last me about 2.5 to 3 days. And you'll notice the light begin to fade as the battery's about to run out. You don't have to take off your loupes. You don't have to take the light off to be able to change the battery. All you have to do is unscrew the cap, take out the battery, put the new one in, and screw it back on. The batteries actually charge really fast with this module, and it takes less than an hour for them to both go from 0 to 100. You'll notice as your battery's charging, it'll give you a percentage indicator showing you how much more the battery needs to charge. And it'll also show you the current that's flowing through each one as well. The light itself is super bright, and it's really easy to adjust the light up and down depending on where your patient is. Now, the frames themselves are very sturdy. They're very durable. I opted to get these because, number one, black is my favorite color. And this is actually the frame that Designs for Vision released one of their first loupes out with. It's a really sturdy frame. It has a great track record. Actually, my director at dental school owns a pair of loupes, which she purchased in dental school as a student, and she still has them. And that frame, I'm telling you, is really nice. It's really durable. It feels super solid, and I feel like even if I were to drop them, they wouldn't break. They're that sturdy. I'm not endorsing you to drop your loupes, but I'm just saying that they're built for the long haul. Now, because these frames are so sturdy, they actually allow for the Infinity VUE loupes to be made with this frame as well. And this frame that I got comes in a multitude of colors. I saw pink, orange, red, blue, green, and of course black. There's also a silver one. Now, the frames themselves are made out of metal. They are a little bit heavy, and putting the light on it makes it a little bit heavier, but I'm telling you, it's worth it for that wireless light option. And the drawstring, which goes in the back, it's actually really good because it's made out of a silicone material, and when you put it on, it's really comfortable. So I really haven't even noticed a difference coming from my traditional pair of loupes. Now, as I mentioned, this is just the initial impressions video. I will be making another video detailing my experience transitioning from a traditional loupe to these Infinity VUE loupes and the learning curve associated with it. I'm actually going to be taking them on my rotation to Wisconsin soon. That's where I'll be making that video, so stay tuned for that. But like I said, I spoke to a bunch of specialists and other faculty at my school that own these pair of loupes, and they highly recommended me to get them because, like I said, the learning curve, there is one, but it's easier to get through it in dental school than it would be outside of dental school when you're working as a dentist. So if you're looking to upgrade from the loupes that you have right now before you graduate, this would be a great time because the dental student discounts are well worth it. I'm telling you, when you graduate, things are going to be a lot more expensive. So definitely make use of the time that you have as a student right now. And like I said, the reps are everywhere nationwide for Designs for Vision. So no matter where you're at, somebody will come to you and do everything properly, take your measurements, help you with adjustments, answer your questions, anything like that. If you guys have any questions regarding these loupes or anything about Designs for Vision, let me know and I'll try my best to get back to you. Put it down in the comments or message me on Instagram. I'll also have all the website and details and information regarding these loupes from Designs for Vision with their website. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the next video and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.